What is going on, YouTube? PPS back. It is the 16th of February. We're coming at you guys for our YouTube Play of the Day video. I'm sorry. I didn't wear my hat yesterday. We ended up dropping our only play of the day over here by one bucket. I know I had some messages after the first 10 minutes about how shitty the play was, how bad I am, whatever it is. But it actually only came down to a bucket. Just missed free throws, just inefficiency down the end. But it sped up. Obviously, I rewatched my video and honestly thought, why did I not just take St. Louis? I was hyping St. Louis up pretty heavy. So hopefully if you guys listened in and heard kind of how I was talking about, hopefully you took St. Louis because I was very, very high on them yesterday. So we do drop that one, 9-2 over our last 11. Overall, we're sitting at 29-23. I'm playing 3 plays for you guys today. Obviously, we know very, very limited NBA slate today. Obviously, All-Star weekend is coming up. So I'm like, hey, let's do 3 plays. I feel bad about the whole hat thing yesterday, but hopefully you guys came over to Pass the Prop and cash our plus 1,500 double-double for our boy PJ Washington. He is a dude that is just rolling for us. I've only played him 3 or 4 times on a free play, and obviously he's done very well for us. So I'm excited for that one. And yeah, we'll get right into it today with 3 spots. 3 spots. I think we're going to play basketball. So first will be my only play that I'm going to DraftKings for. Is the Penguins of Youngstown State. You guys, I played these guys a lot of the first half lines, a lot of stuff like that, but I do really like Milwaukee. You end up seeing this number go over in that first game. I really like the first half over. I probably will play that as well, but I do love pretty much everything I see from this game. Obviously, I am from the Milwaukee area, so I see a lot of Milwaukee stuff on our local TV here. But 88-75 in the first matchup. What really got me was Milwaukee shot 48% from 3, and everyone and I think about it, I'm like, there's no way they do it again. But Youngstown shot 19%. 19% from 3. This team is a top 20 team in terms of three-point shooting in the entire country, right, guys? And we go here. Milwaukee is good at guarding the 3. Don't get me wrong, but over their last 3 games, they're allowing 37% from 3. We look at Youngstown, like I said, 20th in the country. They're shooting 38% from 3 so far this year. And what I do really like about Youngstown as well in this game, and the reason why I went full game was just their ability to give up points and obviously score points at home, right? At home so far this year, they're allowing 73 points per game. But we go to Youngstown at home. When we go here, they're a top 10 team in scoring at home. This is a huge, huge thing to talk about here. They're averaging almost 83 points per game at home. I really like their team total, but I also think Milwaukee will be able to stay with them. This is a big game for them. Milwaukee has not been very good in a very long time, and now they are starting to cook a little bit. We talked about Youngstown a bit. I don't remember how many weeks ago it was, but we obviously saw in this first matchup, they had 4 double-digit scores, and I love how they play their starters huge, huge minutes. In this game last time, they saw 37 for Nelson, 31 for Green, 30 for McBride. We saw 37 and 38 for their other 2 guards. They really don't play a real center either. So in this one, I think we could just see a bunch of guards just running around doing their thing again. Obviously, we saw how terrible the 3-point shooting was here. And if you go to some of these guys are doing 35, 37 to 40% from 3 on the season, and they went 0 in this game. Like I said, it's a huge advantage to be moving back home, and I don't think that's being talked about enough here. And I really like Youngstown State. I've been backing them a lot. They're a top 40 adjusted offensive team on Ken Palm rankings. 156 is where we're at, minus 110. And just to think about this, right? Milwaukee's a 10-point dog, 9.5-point dog tonight. And they won by double digits last game against these guys. So that's how big, even Vegas knows how big of a switch this is. I don't mind Youngstown team total, but I think with this pace, I think Milwaukee, again, will continue to keep their pace up there as well. We look at Milwaukee, they're a top 25 team in terms of pace, 71 possessions per game. Bottom 200 defense, right? I mean, Youngstown State, like I said, it's a nice pace-up spot for them, and obviously a 33rd team in terms of adjusted offense in the entire country. So love Youngstown State tonight. and the over. And obviously the pace in this one. I'm excited to watch that one. I'll be watching that. I believe that's an ESPN Plus game if you have that subscription there. That's not a plug or nothing there. I only really watch it for golf. But play 2, Oral Roberts, our boy Max Asmus, continues to just absolutely destroy teams. I feel like he's one of those players who's just been in the league forever, right? And they're playing North Dakota tonight. I kind of am scared at what this line is going to get to. I think it's like 18.5 right now. Really, really tough to back North Dakota here in any sort of way when they're allowing their bottom 20 and stopping 3-pointers so far this year. 37% allowed, 37.4. And guess what? Oral Roberts does fantastic, especially at home too, right? So they're playing at home here, and at home so far this year. Excuse me, sorry, I've been burping here. Oral Roberts, 38% from 3 on the season overall, 42% at home. 42% would be number 1 in the country, obviously, but at home, they're absolutely shooting the lights out. Even at home, in terms of home scoring, they're averaging 87 points per game. Youngstown is 10th on that list at 82.5. So both of these teams are very, very good at home. We're finally getting that home matchup. Oral Roberts scored 84 in their first matchup, and that was obviously on the road. North Dakota, up in those Dakotas, it's a tough place to play up there. And now you get them back at home. You have Asmus here. There's really no way I can get around these dudes. At the moment, he is 23 points per game. They're averaging 85.5 points per game on the season is Oral Roberts. And obviously, they find a way to always get towards the top in adjusted offense, always top in pace. So 14th this year in adjusted offense, 26th in adjusted defense. This is just such a mismatch. I really don't know how we're gonna see North Dakota match up. And obviously, we saw what happened in the first one. They didn't match up well. 316 in adjusted defense. They are slower, but we saw in the first game, Oral Roberts did speed up that game quite a bit to make them kind of go into the way they want to play here. So sign me up. North Dakota is giving up 88 points tonight to Oral Roberts. And maybe they give up 50 to Asmus, but I don't know if they're going to give me a prop like that, adjusted line. But love me some Max Asmus here. And I just think that the 3-point shooting is going to be such a huge key to this one. I think we see a huge number from Oral Roberts. All right, guys. Like I said, we don't do 3 plays usually. Usually it's only 2 at max. But like I said, we're going to come back to you guys. I'm sorry about not wearing this yesterday. Hopefully this comes through for us just like it has been. But if you guys could, please hit that like button. I know this video is going a little longer than I usually go with about 5 to 8 minutes. But we're going to be going a little bit over 10 today to make sure we get you the late night hammer game. I have to go confirm. I think this actually moved up in the last 5 minutes. This was minus 120. At minus or 153. I just checked it, moved up. So we will readjust ourselves, and I still like this line quite a bit. We have Pacific at home facing off against San Francisco. This is the late night hammer game, guys. This is it. This is that game. Obviously, we've been backing a lot of this West Coast Conference stuff, and I think this is another game to go right to it. So again, this is huge when we have home road splits, right? If you go to just overall, we're going to see Pacific giving up a ton of points, right? They're not good. Even at home, they give up a ton of points. So far this season, they're allowing 77.5 points per game, or 77.8 points per game at home so far this year. Obviously, that is not ideal. But if you go over to San Francisco side, this team we've seen be very good throughout these last couple of years, but they have taken a step back defensively and a step up in terms of pace. They allow 76 points per game on the road this year compared to only 69 at home, which, again, these home road splits, especially when you get to these conference games, they're huge. They're a huge advantage, and we're getting to that time in conference games where you're starting to see teams kind of click a little bit more. So this is that time for teams to start coming through. Pacific, again, we talked about how bad they are defensively. At home, they're averaging 75 points per game. But I don't know if you guys saw, but their last game, they just dropped 99 points in their last game. So that's obviously extremely, extremely impressive. I love backing San Diego overs just because they are so bad defensively. But I think the market is starting to catch on to that a little bit there. So obviously on the San Francisco side, We have some pretty good dudes here. 75 points per game on the season. Over their last game, in their last game, they scored 88. But they're averaging 80 points over their last 3 games. I think we can see that continue here. In their first matchup, we did see Pacific only score 57 points per game, or 57 points in that first matchup. But I just talked about how Pacific is much better at home, and San Francisco is much worse defensively. San Francisco is much worse defensively on the road. So Pacific allows 35% from 3. I think we're going to continue to see this pace that Pacific has been putting on teams. I think they're going to try to use that as a weapon here. 45th in adjusted tempo to go along with 277 adjusted defense, which obviously I really like to see. You're bad at defense and you want to run. I love that, right? San Francisco is top 100 offense, and they're top 100 pace team, which we usually don't see from San Francisco. But I really like the spot. Again, when we look at Vegas, right, if we're looking at the last game, and I'm sure a lot of people will be betting this under, maybe you want to wait a little bit to see if it moves down. But we already saw some movement this morning, right? I just had it at 152.5 about 30 minutes ago. That's what I played this at. But we only saw 135 points in that first matchup, and they're going to make me go up to 153 to grab this one, or 152 was the opener. They know points are coming here. Pacific, again, when we see them at home, we always are going to be leaning towards that over because we obviously love the home road splits here, especially in college basketball. It's more than anything, even more than NBA by a lot, right? This is actually a huge advantage to be at home in college. So San Francisco, the better team. Obviously, I love my boy Shabazz. Hopefully he's going off for another huge game tonight. But 153.5 is where we're going here. I love this pace. I love this offense. And it's a late night hammer game. What is better than that, guys? So you know I love those games, and I'll be coming back to them today. Again, recap. Oral Roberts team total over 87.5 on FanDuel. Youngstown over 156 over on DraftKings. And then we have San Francisco just moved up to 153.5. I'll pull that up right now. You can see it just turned red here, which means the movement just happened a little bit ago since I've had it up here. But this is the 2 lines I'm finding there: 87.5 for Oral Roberts and 153.5 there for this one. I got it at 152.5. Shop that around. Maybe it didn't move, but I'll adjust with that line and make sure that you guys get that one there too. So Pacific over 153.5, Youngstown over 156. And we have Oral Roberts team total at 87.5. So thank you guys so much. Appreciate all the support. Thank you guys for the shout outs for the PJ Washington last night. Thank you guys. Hopefully you can take that money you won last night with PJ and roll it over here. And let's get 3 more winners here. 9-2, hats on. We're ready to go. So have a good one, guys. Best of luck.